Hi everybody, this is BDevine from BDevine Online. I'm just going to lift my camera up a little. Alright, today we are focusing on the AKASHIC records for June 2024, okay? And we're going to see through the channeled messages what is going to be coming through for us. So if you haven't been here before, my name is BDevine. And I have been doing this work for a super long time, since 1990. And I'm here to help teach you and awaken your ancient talents. Everybody has them. Everybody's been smothering them. And with the Akashic records, we can really get in tune with a frequency of faster energy and more frequent blessings in our life, right? So when you're on that high vibration, you are naturally attracting things that are more connected with who you really are as a soul. The energy of June 2024. This is most connected with upgrades. I'm going to explain these things a little bit as well. It is connected with knowledge and revelations, not the biblical sense, okay? Hopefully you can see, yeah, you can see pretty well. So these are the first three things. So what are upgrades? When you are really open to a new direction, life, healing, change, connection, etc. So when you open up to these new things, okay, what happens is you need to have your energy upgraded, okay, to match the new vibration that you're going in. Now, when you're open to these new directions, this is when the greatest opportunity begins to come in for you. So when we're looking at the Akashic records, my job is to focus on what is beginning in June 2024 and how this will develop. So every time I speak to you, it's not about predictions so much as it is about alignment, right? The messages that I receive from the councils of light, from my spiritual light team, are all messages that you can also receive. And when you are going through these upgrades, okay, and when you're really open to a new direction, a new life, new healing, change, connection, etc., opportunity comes in because you are in alignment. And what are you in alignment with? You are more in alignment with your soul path, okay? You are a soul, okay? You don't have one, you are one. You as a soul are a sovereign being of light. You are a soul. Now, the thing about June 2024 is there are going to be situations where knowledge, okay, will equal equal power. Some energy that may appear to be negative news will equal a positive result. Okay? So let's go back to this you are a soul for a moment. Okay? As a soul, okay, so I'll just do a circle. Okay? This is you, a soul. Okay? As a soul, in your previous lifetimes, every time that you passed away, a piece or a tiny little fragment of who you are as a soul is left in that timeline. Okay? A piece is left behind. It's like an imprint. All right? It is a memory. It is a fragment. And the memory energy is really important, okay? Because this memory energy is also incredibly connected with your solar plexus chakra, okay? So here's where memories, past lives, okay? The memories of the past lives live in the solar plexus, just under your rib cage and at the back, sort of in the center of your back, okay? These memories are here of the pieces that are left behind, okay? When we do some healing work together, if you're working with me, we will go through the different gateways and different doorways and make sure that a lot of these things are closed off, because otherwise what you're doing is you're repeating patterns. Okay? So just bear with me for a minute. You as a soul, you've had previous lifetimes, you've passed away, okay? In those lifetimes, in those timelines, in those dimensions, and you leave a tiny piece of yourself behind, okay? It is kept though, a copy of it is kept as a memory, as an experience, even as a trigger in your solar plexus chakra. This is also connected to the auric levels, but we're not going to get into that right now. So, every single time, every single lifetime that you've had, every single incarnation, okay, every time you've been on a planet, every time you've come back to Earth, and regardless of what anybody says, it is extremely rare for you. If you're here right now, it is extremely rare for you to have been only ever on one planet before this. Like, say for example, you might think you've been on Venus or something, and this is your first time on Earth. Highly unlikely. Like a fraction of a percent of people, that would truly be the case, because you're all here because of your experiences. Okay? Now, so a piece left behind, an imprint, a memory, a fragment of previous lifetimes when you pass away, right? A piece, it goes missing. Now, it is in your being, a copy, a template of this is in your solar plexus, okay? When this adds up to multiple pieces, okay, missing from you, but yet imprinted in your solar plexus, okay, you can go through a tremendous amount of trauma that is exaggerated, because of the fragment memories imprint, right? In where? Your solar plexus. So if you've had a ton of abuse in your life already, okay, and then you're trying to heal things within your being, okay, it can be more difficult because of the fragments, the memories, the gateways that are open, pushing that past life energy at you, okay? So say, for example, you were terrified in a past life because you died in a cave, okay? I'm just using this as an example. So in this life, you're terribly claustrophobic, okay? You're terrified of the dark. And people have tried to give you remedies to this, and nothing has worked, okay? Because this pattern in your solar plexus is repeating itself until you figure it out, see? So when you begin to figure out that your trauma, for example, is not just the trauma of this life, but the trauma of multiple lifetimes, okay? And you wonder why you might have digestive issues, confidence problems, difficulty in being in your leadership role, scared of what other people think of you, right? Scared of the dark, afraid to get caught somewhere, afraid to be left alone. Do you know that if you're afraid of being left alone, besides the trauma that you've had in this life where you've been abandoned in some way, this may have happened 1,000 times before. So it's reigniting itself in your being. Good news is, with someone like myself and with the Light Leaders Academy students, you can figure these things out and really, really, really help to embrace a wholeness that you haven't felt before. So knowledge equals power. It also equals responsibility, okay? Now I'm getting somewhere, believe me, okay? All right, so negative news can end up being a positive result. Negative news in the news, negative, okay? Something that you might first react to, first reaction. So this may be fear, okay? Or it might be worry. Or it might be sadness, okay, just for example. And we know that some of these feelings can be exacerbated, okay, and triggered by the past life memories, you know, a fear of something going terribly wrong, a worry that someone is going to be, or many people are going to be killed, or a sadness that it's already happened. But then remember, it's even more powerful because of the things that you've had before, right? So instead of reacting, okay, this is what you're being asked to do. Instead of reacting and staying in these things, you're being asked to, if your first reaction is fear, to change this into a positive. No, I'm not going to project fearful energy anywhere. I'm going to see this as a reason for happening right now, and I'm going to understand very soon. Worry. No, I'm going to focus, instead of the worry, I'm actually going to focus on things being very, very light-filled. I'm focusing on the wellness, right? And instead of sadness, okay, because sadness is basically disappointment, I'm going to turn this into a positive. Whatever news I have, instead of feeling sad because you're disappointed or you're going into despair, okay, you change this into, I know right now at this moment, because I have this news, everything's about to change for the better. So, for example, knowledge equals power, right? If you are having a first reaction about the news on TV, the TikTok feed, something you've seen on YouTube or whatever, and you've had these reactions, you need to learn how to change them immediately. By you understanding the principles of yourself as a soul and what you're literally capable of, okay? By you doing this, everybody gets the benefit. Revelations start to come to you. Coming in, okay? Why? Because your mind is not caught up with the negative emotions and worries and concerns and everything, okay? You're understanding yourself as a soul, and you're healing the triggered memories. You're healing the fragments, okay? There's also with soul retrieval work, with the healing work. This is something that I specialize in, is gathering you back and helping you understand why that was missing and what discomfort that was causing within you on a larger scale, okay? So these are all things that I've taught myself or experienced through excruciating circumstances. And it's caused that going into the shamanic death to regain or have the revelations of what I was doing and how then I could help people. So the revelations are coming in. All right? Upgrades. When you're really open to a new direction, life, healing, change, connection, etc., opportunity and alignment happen. Bang. Which brings knowledge that you are a soul, okay? You have a soul path. You have given yourself certain tasks to get it right. Okay, if you always run away from drama in thousands of lifetimes, you're going to be faced with drama until you change your reaction to it. You're going to stand in front of it. You're going to speak and communicate differently. Your responsibility is going to be great because of your knowledge. It's going to click into place. Okay? It's going to click into place. There is a vibe. Just a moment. There is a vibe that many people are going to feel, if they're not ready for it, a lot of different stresses in the coming months, because things will be flip-flopping, okay, flip-flop, okay, meaning it will start off in a certain way and move to another way. It will start being like this, as I said, right? There will start to be negative news, it will turn into positive. There will be positive news, it will turn into the negative, flip-flopping. There will be, and has been, as I've said to you, sort of a increase in weather alerts and strange, bizarre weather patterns as well. Now, again, you can see it as a bad, destructive thing. Okay, this is it. This is what everyone's talking about. Or you can say, you know, Mother Earth is stretching its wings a little bit, stretching and arching its back and throwing off a lot of energy that is needed right now to benefit the earth and to benefit the inhabitants. You can stay in a low frequency of being in your trauma and having all of these triggers and all this going on constantly. And you can run to doctors and you can go in your fear, right? And try to get other people that are on the same bandwagon as you and stay in your fear together, okay? Or you can start really honestly understanding your ancient self, okay? This is why I created free courses for you, to give you an understanding of what I'm going to teach you in the bigger courses, to heal yourself, to create a strategy to help heal others. But if you keep on going back into your fear-based mind, right? So you're going back into your worries, into your fear, into your stresses, into your anger, into your lower emotions, okay? That's all you're going to see around you. This is really important. Your ancient self, okay, is the healer. All right, everybody is a healer, meaning you all have the ability to channel light codes, light vision, light energy, and help somebody else energetically by channeling it out through you as a conduit of energy. You're not doing the healing at all. In fact, you should not. You haven't got as much power as the universe. So why people throw themselves into it, I have no idea, other than ego reasons. But the ancient self of the healer knows how to balance, okay? So let me just move this for a second. Okay, so the ancient self, the healer, the seer, the leader, the scribe, the intuitive, the powerful, no ego. Okay, let's just say this, okay? The knowledgeable, whatever you want, whatever you else want to put, right? The ancient self. Where is the ancient self? You are a soul. You have fragments, okay, that are left, okay? And you have memories. Where? In the solar plexus. Right? Like I was trying to tell you before, right? So where's the ancient self? In the solar plexus, okay? The pieces left behind, the healer, the seer, the leader, the scribe, the intuitive, the powerful, with none of this BS, okay? And people who have an ego, they're the sort of people that will put testimonies of how great they are on their Facebook or on their whatever feed or whatever. That's something you're not going to see from me. If you want my testimonials, you just go to my website where the testimonials are. I don't need to show off any of this, right? It speaks for itself, right? So you have memories in your solar plexus. They're not always negative triggers, right? There's also the positive fragments of the self as well. Now, when you start to heal yourself, okay, because the healer heals the self first, okay, or else you're not doing it. You know, the same with the seer, same with the leader, same with the scribe, the intuitive, the powerful. It all has to happen with the healing of the self and the understanding that all of you already have all of this knowledge within you, right? Within your being. It's part of who you are. And you need to unlock it now. Okay? As part of the AKASHIC records today, and as part of the rumblings around the earth, and as part of the corruption that we're seeing, okay, so I'm just trying to be on a mundane level for a second, which is hard for me because I'm always in that frequency of upgrades and downloads. But let's say I'm in the mundane right now, and I'm worried about the news, and I'm worried about the presidency, and I'm worried about other leaders around the globe, and I'm worried about the weather, and I'm worried about climate change, and I'm worried about what gender I might be, and I'm worried about how other people might see me, and I'm worried about whether someone is actually meaning what they say or saying what they mean, or I'm worried about what someone might intend to mean at some point in my life. I'm worried about money. I'm worried about my car. I'm worried about my kids. I'm worried about whatever number of BS is thrown into my face, right? If you're doing that all day, every day, in some way, shape, or form, you are in your head. In your head. Okay? You are not going to find the information that you need by being in your head. Okay? You are just going to go around in circles, in confusion, right? In your head. And the stress, right? The triggers of negativity, the negative triggers will start coming out through your solar plexus, right? Until you find you have no way out, which equals a loss of light, which equals depression, despair, okay? If you're in your head, you'll feel like you have no way out, which equals this. Therefore, when I suggest what you need for your healing, you're going to say there's no way out because you're already convinced in your head that there's no way out, okay? If you are in your head and you are focusing on everything going wrong, okay, a negative aspect as well, trigger point, for example, will come out, and then you will become fearful of the future. And And what happens when we're fearful of the future? Anxiety. Okay? When you're in your head, everything that you're going through is going to surround these things, one or the other, either depression or anxiety. All of your ADHDs and all of your other complexities can also have relevance here. Okay, but I'm just trying to keep it a little bit simple. All right? So when you're in your head, right, you're going around in circles, you're convincing yourself of these things, right? And guess what? Things get worse. Why? Because you're convinced they will. All right? This can be fixed though. I'm telling you. If there's one tiny little strand of you that says, you know, I'm willing to try and I'm open to doing the work, guess what? It'll start healing for you. There is a way out of all of this, okay? So, healing the self first, okay, awakens the ancient self that has the positive attributes that you're looking for. It has the wealth, it has the abundance, okay? It has everything that you need to tap into. But if you keep staying here, all there is a merry-go-round of emotions and pain and stresses, which keeps on sparking off the solar plexus into all of its negative aspects, which ends up breaking down all of the chakras, right? They end up looking like crap. If the auric field itself is not getting the right quotient of light, these don't work properly anyway, so you got another problem on your hands. Not to mention your past in this life and the traumas you've experienced, the letdowns that you've experienced. Most people that I talk to have self-worth issues. Do you know where the self-worth issues really come from, right? I know we're talking about the solar plexus the whole time, but that's where your confidence is. So there's a lot of it that's damaged here. Your self-worth is established, okay, as a child. If you were always told that you're awesome, you're going to feel that you're awesome. And so if somebody tells you that you're an idiot, you're going to be deeply offended. It's going to cut you to the bone because you've never been told that before. Okay? So you won't be someone that necessarily has self-worth, but you might develop a fear of what other people think just from one cutting comment. So imagine if that can happen. Imagine if you establish, you know, it was established as a child that you are nothing. And all the words that come from that, loser, idiot, never amount to anything, ugly, who would want you, kind of thing. So basically a nothing holds all of this vibe here. And this is established as a child, okay? And your problem is that you believe it. Because you believe this. And because you believe it, you are in your head about it, okay? And you go into unlocking the negative energy sitting in your solar plexus, and it keeps on going, it keeps on revolving. Excuse me. Okay, so you're triggering yourself. You don't really need anybody else to trigger you because you're triggering yourself enough. Okay, you're triggering yourself enough, and then if somebody else starts treating you this way or abusing you, Most of the people that put up with abuse feel like they're nothing. They believe it, so then they feel deserving of it. Until they don't. You have to have the same determination to leave as you do to stay. Until that happens with anything in your life, things will just stay the same. In other words, if you have a determination to stay in your head and not listen, okay, until you have the same determination to get out of your head and start listening to a new voice, the healer, the seer, the leader, the scribe, the intuitive, the powerful, until you start doing that, you will feel like there is no way out. You will be fearful of the future. You'll go into this despair and you'll start rejecting spiritual work. Now, this is an important video. Somehow, this whole little story for you guys has started to come out. And I know that it appears, what I'm saying, it appears to be easy. Okay? To me it is. Because my determination is so powerful inside of me that I wonder why other people aren't jumping out of their skin. It can be frustrating, even though I don't want to use that word, to offer the world the answers to the problems, and they are looking for something that is a quick magic fix. And you have to understand that anything worthwhile is worth doing properly. And if you really get to the bottom of all of this stuff, you go into your upgrades again and again and again. You open the opportunities. You come into alignment. The knowledge is here. The revelations are here. Your skills are on point. You don't worry about anything, so it just comes to you, right? You can heal by thought. You can travel through time and space because you just imagine yourself doing so. And it is so, right? You don't question everything. You don't feel confused about everything. You're not in your head, right? But if someone doesn't take you through this process, because you can't do it alone, because you'll never catch it all, right? Why do you not catch all the things by yourself when you're unhealed, okay? When you're in that unhealed reality. You don't, because you've pushed away so many things and thought that they were unnecessary or unimportant to look at. And those very things where your resistance is, those are going to be the key points. Now, the Akashic records are telling you, and I'm telling you, right, that the time for the nonsense, okay, the in the head energy, the ego, the stress, the fear, the worry, the how can I do this? How can I do that? What about my kids? What about my life? What about my finances? What about a job? Well, I've been asking, nothing's coming. What about all of those negative traits that are being exacerbated through the triggers, through your own memories, through the past lives, through the solar plexus? Right? It's being exacerbated. You can own it, or you can step out of it. Oftentimes people say to me, oh, but you can, you can do all this and that. You can, so can you, right? Having an acceptance of all of these things, okay? When you've been programmed to be nothing, a loser, an idiot, never amount to anything, Actually, one of the biggest things that my stepdad used to call me was useless. And it just, I was so clumsy and stuff too. So I did kind of feel useless when I was young. And I didn't focus in the same way as other students and things. And I never could be bothered. My teachers would be like, if she just applied herself, you know, she's just got it all, but she's just, but I wasn't interested in applying myself to the teachings of a government. But I didn't realize that that's what it was. I was just rejecting it at the time, being, you know, rebellious, whatever. But when I accepted a new belief system, okay, this is what you're being asked to do in June. You are being asked to change everything. Because if you don't, there is going to be a lot of things in your face. Okay? Karma is being thrown out there to everybody. Nobody is going to escape it unless you know how to. Unless you know how to use it to your benefit. When you accept the healer, the seer, the leader, the scribe, the intuitive, the powerful, the angelic, whatever it is you want to call yourself, right? But all encompassing, as a sovereign being of light who has the ability to receive information from the highest masters, from the angelic kingdom or realms, from the Lord Jesus Christ, if that's what you believe in, from God, from Source, from Great Father, right? When you truly believe this, as strong as you might believe all this stuff in your head, right? When you change it to believing how accepted you are as you are, right? That is when the upgrades, the revelations, the knowledge, the information, the knowledge, the support, the healing, the growth, that is when it kicks up 1,000 times. It really does. When you're accepting of spirit as your parents, you're accepting of the true spiritual mother, father energy that is all loving, all understanding, and would never call you these things, would never make you feel like that. Okay? You go through a healing on your own. And when you dissect all of the other beliefs about yourself, about your mission, about your life, about what you want to do, what's in your astrology chart, what might be coming through the cards as a message for you as a soul, what your blueprint of life is, where you've been before, then it all starts to come together in this magical tapestry, right? And you don't need anybody else to accept of it or approve it or understand it. In fact, I don't tell anybody about what I do. And when I'm in a position where someone doesn't know, or they might have some kind of what they think they know, they just turn their back towards me and talk over the top of me, you know? And guess what? I just let them do that. I don't even care, because I know my worth. And my worth is not defined by how somebody else treats me. In fact, the fact that they try to turn their back, or they try to look away, or they whatever, they're already intimidated by the energy. They know I know. And they don't want to know. Okay? Wow. So for June 2024. Now, I've never really tried to explain it like this before. And I want to tell you that there is a whole lot more to what I'm showing you here than what is actually, you know, can be given to you guys today. But I can tell you right now that amongst the chaos that will seemingly appear to be, okay? Because remember that we are being fed information on purpose if we choose to listen to it or not. I choose to go and listen to the universe, to my cosmic physicians, the light team. I get instruction from there, nowhere else. I get instruction from my higher self. You know, that's it. Nothing through people. I don't really watch other people's videos. I will support my light leaders as well if they have a video or they're trying to do something. I will support them. But I don't watch other people's stuff because there's no need for me to do so. And you're going to find the same with yourself. When you start having all of these aspects of yourself ignited and the opportunity and the conditions are favorable in June. So when you start working on all of this, I'm telling you, there's help available for you. Keep saying, I wish I had known these things when I was young. I really wish I had somebody who was like me, who could say, Becky, you need to understand yourself as a soul. You need to understand what happens to you. You need to understand what happens when you pass. You need to understand your sovereignty. You need to understand how strong and powerful you are. You need to understand that you are capable of more than you could ever imagine. And that's actually making me emotional, even just speaking to myself like that, or just trying to explain it to you, because I did ask for those things and I didn't realize that they were already there. The ancient self is already there. The many, many, many thousands of incarnations that you have made as a healer, seer, leader, scribe, intuitive, powerful, magician, whatever, is all there still. Yes, you can concentrate it by gathering aspects from that life, asking for your power to come back to you, whatever you want to do. But it's all still there. Just the same, okay? Just the same as all negative energies from past lifetimes are there too. And you must weed out the negative, the thought forms, right? You accumulated negative energies in this lifetime, past lifetimes. Understand what keeps on repeating itself to you and be determined to fix it. It seems to be also as I've already said, the weather patterns and all of that, whatever. Focus yourself on sending in, okay, the angels of the weather, the dragons of the weather. The dragons of the weather will work very, very powerfully. The north, the south, the east, the west, wherever you are. You call upon the dragons to dispensate the negative energy that's in the weather, right? So I can give you a perfect example. I got a warning from a friend a day before that there was going to be some terrible weather coming our way. And we'd already mitigated water. We'd already organized what we could. We have a lot of large trees, right? There was tornado warnings. And all of a sudden, like the next day was supposed to be clear. And all of a sudden my husband's like, oh my God, there's this system. We're going to have baseball-size hail. I'm like, well, we're going to move the car into the shed, right? And we're going to put the dragons onto it. We were warned and warned and warned. We didn't listen. We had this channel that was on YouTube. My husband is a bit of a weather person, so he was watching the channel to make sure. And they said, yep, it's coming in. It's massive. It's rolling over. And it was a place that was like, I don't know, 30 minutes away from us. And it was bad, bad, bad thunderstorms and flooding rains, right? Not to mention baseball-sized hail. You name it. It was going to take out windows. They were telling us to shelter in place, to do everything. So I sent the dragons out and I said, dispensate the weather, give us only what we need, and dissolve the rest. Dissolve it away from here. Push it north, push it where there are no, houses and things like that. And I'm telling you, we got the tiniest little hail that was like this for 5 minutes. Few thunder, boom, 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 boom. The rain was soft instead of heavy and lasted about an hour. And that's it. It was all over. You see, so there was this big dramatic crescendo of, oh my God, get out of the way, it's coming. And immediately stopped it because the intention was that that would happen. There was no fear, there was no worry. It was just, if this was something that was unnecessary, let's just say, dispensate it now. Push it away. And I'm often working with the dragons. And again, we can talk about dragons till the cows come home. I've got some videos about it, and I've even got a course about it. I even work with you personally with dragons if you want that. But doing this work with belief in the positive instead of belief in the negative is a game changer. You all want your abilities to awaken. You all tell me that you've got all these abilities as well. Very few use it. And if you are using it, how many people are you truly supporting and helping as well? How much more can you open about yourself? Because I'm open to completely upgrading. I want to upgrade every single day. That will mean that my body starts to also not need certain things or want certain things in it. For example, sugars. And I'm kind of going right off of anything too salty as well. I can taste it really well. But definitely taking sugar out and lowering carbohydrates whilst keeping up with the vitamins and minerals and positive mind thoughts is doing wonders. Okay? These Akashic records are about upgrades, opportunity, and knowledge and revelations coming in. And they are about you beginning to understand yourself as a soul and your patterns and your behaviors and your reactions. And this is not coming down on anybody. This is just life. We all do it, right? We all do it until we stop and we become more determined to adjust, more determined. If you would like to work with me personally, I've got every availability for you to do so and ways to do it and pay it off or whatever. If you would like to learn how to do this yourself, I have the Academy. If you'd like to learn channeling, I've got the Academy. If you want to learn past life regression therapy, I've got the Academy. If you want to learn interdimensional healing and shamanic work, I've got the Academy. I've got free courses. I've got free Reiki stuff, okay? I've got things for you. And I'm going to continue to give you that stuff. And all you have to do is remember the ancient self and ask your ancient self, the healer, the seer, the leader, the scribe, the intuitive, the powerful, is this worth being in my head about? The answer is always going to be no. Is this worth worrying about? No. Is this worth getting myself upset about? No. Is this worth my time? No. Is this worth my energy? No. Am I a victim of my past? Or am I an instrument for the future? What is it going to be for you? I feel like there will be more information for you guys coming up here about specific weeks in June, what's coming through for us. There is going to be stirrings. Let's just put it, someone is stirring the pot. There's stirrings within governments right now. There's an uneasiness. Do I want to focus on that? Not really. Because my reality is completely in a higher frequency, which means that if you start doing this work now, we're in it together. Okay? That means we don't have anything that we can't control anymore. See? Because we shift the energy, we change it, we dispel the darkness, we get the help and support from our spiritual team and put a stop to it. And that's how it works. And if we're all doing it together, imagine how powerful we are. I don't care about all the distraction energy. Okay? All I care about is how you can grow, change, heal, shift. Bring yourself into your ancient self now, into the here and now. And if you can do that, then you've got power over any circumstance around you. Again, no ego, no scamming people, you know, no pretending to say things just to fit into a trend or whatever as well. I mean, all that stuff's going to fall away. If people are doing this just because they think that they're going to make a lot of money, you might be in the wrong business, okay? Because this isn't about that. This is about opening the ancient self to everybody. And then all things come to you anyway. And in fact, if we're thinking about money, or if we're thinking about not having, or we're thinking about lack, that still comes down to that self-worth, right? It still comes down to your limiting beliefs. And that's a whole other subject. So, everybody, I hope that this has helped you, because I'm talking about the most important things for June. Important moons, important cycles, important information, important revelation. It's all important. But do I want to get into specifics? Not really. Because this is how we combat it anyway. So you will see some more readings from me. I'll be doing readings for the week and trying to give my message across in those ways. But if you've never really understood the soul and yourself as a soul and mastery, I hope that this has helped you. And I hope that you try my free courses. And if you do need extra assistance, I hope you do ask for it or start to invest in yourself. I am sending you all many, many blessings. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love, and bye for now.